Students' Book, Unit 5, Lesson 1, Exercise 3. Listen and check.
Good afternoon. Today we're looking at the life of that very great American writer, Ernest Hemingway. Our guest in the studio is someone who has spent many years studying Hemingway and is extremely knowledgeable on the subject. She's Mary Drew. Mary, can you start by telling us something about Hemingway's early life? What sort of a family did he come from?
Well, Hemingway had quite an ordinary childhood. He was born in Chicago in 1899 and was the second of 6 children. His father was a doctor and his mother was a music teacher.
Was it a happy childhood?
Yes, it was. He really loved the outdoor life and spent a lot of time walking, camping and fishing.
And when did he start to write?
At about the age of 16, he started writing poems and short stories for his school magazine. He usually wrote about his own life.
What about after school?
Well, he left school at 18 and went to Italy to join the Red Cross. It was during the First World War, and Hemingway drove an ambulance. He was badly wounded there, the first American to be wounded in the war.
And after the war?
He returned to America and married Hadley Richardson. In 1922, he and his wife went back to Europe, this time to Paris. Hemingway worked as a journalist, reporting news stories of all kinds. He met many famous writers in Paris, and soon afterwards decided to give up journalism and write fiction.
What was his first big novel?
A Farewell to Arms, which he wrote in 1929. It was a story of love in wartime Italy.
What about For Whom the Bell Tolls?
He wrote that in 1940. This was a novel about the war in Spain. After that, he didn't write fiction for a few years because he became a journalist again and reported on the Second World War. His next well-known book was The Old Man and the Sea, which was shorter than his other novels. Many people think this is his most successful book.
He won the Nobel Prize for Literature, didn't he?
Yes, that was in 1953, but by then he had stopped writing fiction. For the rest of his life, he suffered from illnesses, and he died in 1961.
A very full and exciting life. Thank you very much, Mary Drew. In our next program, we will be hearing about the British writer George Orwell.